Okay. So in the last class, we started coordinate geometry. We revised the things from IGCSE, from the O level, the basic formulas of the gradient, the distance formula, the midpoint formula, the equation of the line, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and the equation of the perpendicular bisector, and the simple coordinate geometry, the graph things. We are already very familiar with that thing. Then we also continued with the equation of the circle. This was the general form. You have to learn this. This is the general equation of the circle, where this A and B, these are the coordinates, the x and y coordinates of the center of the circle, and this r is square. R is the radius of the circle. So if they have given you the equation of the circle in this format, you just compare it with the general form, and then you will get the center and you will get the radius. Simple. And if they have given you the center and if they have given you the radius, you will just input those values, the x value and the y value over here and the radius over here. Simplify, you will get the equation of the circle. And if you have the equation, you can convert it into that form, the general form, and then you can compare and get the radius. The next thing, now everything would be working around the circles and the angle properties of circles. Those would also be properly used over here. So you have to revise those as well. Angle properties of circle. We will revise this right now as well. Those properties can be used over here to find the radius, to find the center. So we have to revise this thing as well. We will see according to the property. I will make you revise as well, and we'll do the questions. So one of the questions, a simple, very simple question that they can ask you: find the equation of circle with a b as diameter, given that a is 5 comma 2 and b is minus 3 comma 7. Let's suppose this is any of them. I just randomly given 2 points, but they have given you have to use simple logic. Okay, you have to you know what is the circle. So if I draw a simple sketch as well of a circle, and diameter, we know diameter is a straight line passing through the center of the circle. So if this is the point B, if this is the point A, and we know these 2 points, they're asking you to find the equation of the circle. For the equation of the circle, what two things do we need? We need the center and the radius. So somehow, if we get this, the center and the radius, we will replace them in the general form. We will get the equation. So a basic thing, we know that this is the diameter. The diameter is always passing through the center, and this is the radius. This is the radius, and we can easily see that the center, in this case right now, will be the midpoint of AB, because diameter divided by 2 will get you the radius, and radius is definitely connected from the center to the circumference. So we will first of all find the midpoint. The midpoint will be the center. So midpoint, we know a simple formula. We have done it in O level as well. We add the x's divided by 2. We add the y's divided by 2. So 5 minus 3 upon 2 and 2 plus 7 upon 2. So you will get 1 comma 4.5. This is the center. And then to find the radius, you can find the distance between AB, which is the diameter, and the radius will be half of it. Right? Simple. So now you will use the distance formula. The AB distance is square root y2 minus y1 whole square. So 7 minus 5 whole square plus x2 minus x1 minus 3 minus 5, sorry, minus 2 whole square, which will lead you to under root 2 square plus 5 square is 29. 2 square plus minus 5 whole square, which will be under root 29. So now you have the radius, you have the center. So you will just replace them in their correct place and in the general form. The general form is, you have to learn the general form: x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equals to r square. So this is your a and b, the 1 and 4.5. So this would become x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 4.5 whole square is equals to radius square. Radius square will be under root 29 square. So that's it. You have found the equation. We found the AB. AB was the diameter. So the radius will be divided by 2. So under root 29 divided by 2. You would replace this over here as well, divided by 2. And that's it. If you want to expand it, simplify this thing. This would become 29 upon 4. This is the equation of the circle. Passing through these 2 points, where these 2 points are the diameter. If you join these 2 points, those will be the diameter. So you have to use simple geometrical properties as well of circle. Angle properties of circle, these may also be sometimes can be used. We will see how different properties they can use to work with this circle. There are a few more ways as well that they can ask you the question. One of the circle properties is the tangent property. Important angle properties of circle. Let's discuss a few. Everyone knows about the radius, everyone knows about the diameter, some of the angle properties. One of them is the tangent. If this is a circle, the tangent is simply a straight line passing through the curvature, the circle, just at one point, and it is perpendicular to the radius. So when you see that the radius and the tangent, they are perpendicular, radius and tangent are perpendicular, then you can apply the property of the perpendicular lines as well. So we know that the gradient of the radius and the gradient of the tangent, the product will be -1. So this is property which they have used as well in the past as well. You'll see that you will have to think about this and then use this property to further solve the question. Sometimes they will ask you to forget the center equation, or sorry, center point or the radius, or they will give you the tangent, a line of tangent, and then they will ask you to work for the center. So they can move things around and ask you different ways by using the same property. Another one is tangent. Sorry, the if this is the diameter, if let's suppose this is point A, this is point B. Now any angle subtended from the diameter to the circumference. Any angle subtended from the diameter to the circumference would always be 90. Any angle. This will also be 90. This will also be 90, something like this. AB is the diameter. So the point, if your diameter, if your diameter is given, and if there's another point on the circle, so if you join the diameter with that point, just like this angle, this would always be perpendicular. Angle subtended from diameter to circumference, any point of circle and to any point on circumference will be 90 degrees always. Then another property is this one. The circle is given to you. What is this called? A straight line like this. Who will tell me? What is the line that like this called?
Chord.
Abhiyan. A chord is a straight line passing through 2 points on the circle. Not the center. Center that would become a diameter. Diameter is also a chord, sort of a chord, a special chord. But a chord is simply a straight line passing through 2 points on the circle. And if you have this chord and then you have a center, this is your center. See. And if I drop a perpendicular from the center to the chord, this will bisect it. And this triangle will form that you are forming like this. It is a isosceles triangle. This is the radius. We know this is the radius. So the perpendicular from the center to the chord will bisect the chord. Perpendicular from center to the chord will bisect it. Bisected means it will divide it into two equal divisions. Or you can also say that the perpendicular bisector of the chord passes through the center. This line, this is the perpendicular bisector of this chord, right? This is the perpendicular bisector of this chord. So the perpendicular bisector of a chord, of any chord on a circle, will pass through its center. This property will right now we will use it as well. These three properties are important, which we can work with. Wherever you see the 90 degree, the properties of circle where you have perpendicular, something like that. So those properties can be used because we have a rule of coordinate geometry, right, of perpendicular lines, that they are negative reciprocals of each other. So that's why they can connect these two things. The circle angle properties where you have a perpendicular somewhere, and the equation of a line which are perpendicular. Now look, this is the question. They will ask you. They have asked you in the question past paper as well. Finding the equation of the circle using 3 points on circumference. So if you draw a simple diagram to understand this, there is a circle and there are 3 points given to you randomly. We don't know where are these points. They have given you a minus 1 comma 4. Let's suppose b is over here, b is 1 comma 6, and let's suppose c is over here 5 comma 4. How will you find the equation of the circle? Think about it. We don't know if any one of this is a diameter. We don't know what is the circle, sorry, what is the radius, what is the center. Just this. 3 lines on the circle are, sorry, 3 points on the circle are given to you. They are asking you to get the equation of the circle. How would you do it? You can use this property. The chord property. I told you that the perpendicular bisector, another way of understanding is that the perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center. So if I join any two of these points, if I join, let's suppose, AB, and I find the equation of the perpendicular bisector, let's suppose this is it. So the diagram would be something like this, right? And then if I join if I draw another chord which is AC, why is it like this? We'll leave AC. If I draw a BC like this is another chord, and I find the perpendicular bisector of this chord. The blue ones are the chord, and these are the perpendicular. I'm just drawing them very roughly. I don't know if it's very correct. It's just to show you. So you can see these are the green ones are the perpendicular bisector. So I told you that both of these perpendicular bisector will be passing through the center. So the point of intersection between the perpendicular bisectors of the chord will be the center, isn't it?
Yep.
So this is what you do. What you will do. You can find the perpendicular bisector of AC as well. Okay. So any two chords, take any two chords, find the equation of the perpendicular bisectors of those two chords, and solve them simultaneously. You will get the center. So let's do this. So for the gradient of AB, gradient of AB y2 minus y1, 6 minus 4 upon 1 minus minus 1. So 2 upon 2, which will be 1. So this means the gradient of the perpendicular of AB will be negative 1, right? Negative reciprocal. So we have the gradient of this line, that is 1. And then we found the gradient of this line. It is negative 1, negative reciprocal. Then the midpoint, it is passing to the midpoint of AB. So the midpoint of AB is sum of x and sum of y. So this is 0 comma 5. So y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. So the perpendicular bisector of AB is minus x plus 5. We have found this equation of this green line. Then we will find the perpendicular bisector of BC. So gradient of BC first. 4 minus 6 upon 5 minus 1. Minus 2 upon 4. Negative 1 upon 2. So the perpendicular of BC will be negative reciprocal. So plus 2 multiplied with negative and then upside down. So plus 2. And then the midpoint of BC. Add x divided by 2. Add y divided by 2. So midpoint is 3 comma 5. Now y minus y1 m x minus x1. So your equation would become y is equals to 2x minus 6 plus 5. Minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. This is the equation of the other perpendicular bisector. And now you will solve them simultaneously. So after simultaneously solving them, the point of intersection is, you can use a calculator. Right now I'm using a calculator. Otherwise in your exam you would show the working. 1 1 5. 1 minus 2 minus 1. So look, the value of x is 3. Sorry, y is 3 and x is 2. So 2 comma 3. This is it. This is the center point. 2 comma 3. Okay. Now to find the radius. You have found the center, you will find the radius. Radius, you can use the center, you will find the distance between the center and any one of the points. You can find it using the center and A, center and B, or center and C. All of them would be the same, equal. So the radius will be equal to square root of, I'm finding radius is AB. Okay. AB as a radius. So y2 minus y1. So 3 minus 4 whole square plus 2 minus 1 whole square. So your radius is minus 1 square is 1, 1 plus 9 under root 10. So the equation of the circle becomes x minus the center is 2 whole square plus y minus center y coordinate is 3 is equals to under root 10 square. This is your answer. So another way that they can combine the circles, the coordinate geometry, and the angle properties are these two examples. So we will try these. So first of all, find this one, the find equation of circle with the center and the tangent to the line. So this means that there is a circle. Whenever you draw a diagram, it's easier to visualize and then easier to work with the information as well. So I prefer to draw a simple, a very basic diagram to show what the information that I have. So we have this tangent. The equation of the tangent is 2x plus 7y is equals to 10. So this tangent is given to us and the center is given to us minus 4 comma minus 5. So we have to somehow get the radius. We already have the center. We don't know the radius of this circle, right? We have the center, we don't know the radius. So what we can do is, we know if I connect the tangent with the radius, this will be perpendicular. So using the equation of the tangent which I have, I can find the gradient of tangent, right? Easily. By converting into some, and the y is equals to mx plus c. So y is equals to minus 2x plus 10 upon 7 upon 7. So the gradient of the tangent is negative 2 upon 7. And therefore the gradient of the radius would be negative reciprocal. 7 upon 2, 3.5. So we have the gradient of the radius, 3.5. And now we can find the equation of the radius as well, because we have the point through which the radius is passing through. It is passing to the center, and center we know. So y minus y1, which is minus 5, m is 3.5, x minus x1 minus 4. So you will get y plus 5 is equals to 3.5x minus or plus 14. So the equation of the radius is 3.5x plus 9. This is the equation of radius. Then what we can do is, if we solve the equation of radius and the equation of tangent, we would get the point of intersection between them. This is the point of intersection. If we simultaneously solve the equation of the radius and the equation of the tangent which they gave us, we will get the point of intersection. And if we get this point of intersection, then we can easily find the distance between these 2 points, the center and the point of intersection. That would be the radius, right? So we will now solve these two simultaneously. Y is equals to, or y minus 3.5x is equals to 9, and 7y plus 2x is equals to 10. Solve them simultaneously. Use your calculator as well and do it manually as well. So 1 minus 3.5, 9. 7, 2, 10. So your y is the value for the first variable, which is y for you. It is 2, and x is minus 2. So we have found this point. It is minus 2 comma 2. And now the distance between the center and the point of tangency, or the point of intersection. So center and point of intersection, the distance between them. Distance formula, basic distance formula. 2 minus 5 whole square plus minus 2 minus 4 whole square. So 7 square is 49 and plus 2 square is 4. So under root 53. So the equation of the circle becomes x plus 4 whole square plus y plus 5 whole square is equals to under root 53 square. This is the answer. Final answer. This is it. सही है? Any questions, anyone? Find the equation of the circle which is tangent to the line at A and the circle is passing through. So they have given you a circle and a line is tangent. This is the equation of the line is given to us. X plus 7y is equals to 2. And the point of tangency is given to us, A. This is A, 2 comma 0. And they have given you another point and the circle is passing through another point. Let's suppose another point is over here. I am just randomly putting in the things, okay, over here. I'm not drawing it according to the scale, or I don't have a coordinate this graph over here. This is just to see whatever the information we have and then work accordingly. Now, what we can do. They're asking you to find the equation of circle. So you don't know the center as well. We don't know the center. We don't know the radius. We don't know anything. So. Okay, yes, I think I got it. We can find the equation of the radius like this. If I draw the perpendicular from the tangent, this is the equation of radius. We know the radius will be passing through the center somewhere. And this is a chord. If I join these two A and B points, this is a chord. And the perpendicular bisector of the chord, it also passes through the center. Right? And then we will solve them simultaneously. The point of intersection is center. है ना? So how would you do? First you find the radius. So the tangent is given to us. That is, where is the equation? X plus 7y is equals to 2. So y is equals to minus x upon 7 plus 2 upon 7. So the gradient of the tangent is negative 1 upon 7. And so the gradient of the radius will be negative reciprocal 7. And the point, we know the radius is passing through the point A. So the equation y minus 0 m x minus 2. So the equation of radius is 7x minus 14. Then you would find the perpendicular bisector of AB. So gradient of AB, y2 minus y1. So minus 2 minus 0 upon minus 4 minus 2. So minus 2 upon minus 6, 1 upon 3. And so the gradient of the perpendicular of AB, it will be negative 3, negative reciprocal. So, and the midpoint, it will be passing to the midpoint. Mid of AB is add x 2 minus 4 upon 2 add y, 0 plus minus 2 upon 2. So this is minus 1 upon comma minus 1. So we have this point as well, the midpoint. Now y minus minus 1 is equals to m x minus minus 1. So y is equals to minus 3x and minus 3. Minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. So this is the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the chord. And then you will solve them simultaneously. Therefore, simultaneously solving, and point of intersection is minus 7 minus 14, then 1 3 minus 4. So the point of intersection is the center, minus 7. So the value of x, the value of y is minus 7, value of x is 1. And now you can find the radius as well. You can find the distance between the center 1 comma minus 7 and any of the point. So point of intersection and a, if I find the distance, it will be minus 7 minus 0 whole square plus 1 minus 2 whole square. So this will be under root 50. And therefore the equation of the circle will be x minus 1 whole square plus y plus 7 whole square is equals to under root 50 whole square. This is the final answer. Okay, समझ आया? All good? Any questions? Anyone?
sir.
So I have done so many log combinations of how they can ask, how they can make it more and more complicated. But the thing is, everything would be revolving around the basic distance formula, gradient formula, and the perpendicular parallel lines, and the general equation of
Hmm.
a circle. But you have to now do the practice and see what new more things that they can ask you about,
Hmm.
and the properties, circle properties of circle. So 3 4 things you have to memorize these and then do some more practice, and eventually it is not a very difficult topic. You just need a lot of practice on this. And this is it for today's class then. Okay, stopping the recording.